Okay, so you should be coming from part A of this conclusion. This is part B of part 5 of the Israelite series. If you've not watched part A, you will not understand what's being presented in this part of the conclusion. In part A, I thoroughly gave you the reason for the warning I have given about staying out of the One West camps. Now, in that video, I did make bold claims. It's my duty to now show and prove why I have said what I have said. So I will do so now. I will now conclude this series about the Hebrew Israelites and the reason you should stay out of the One West camps. Let's keep going. Okay, so in part A, I explained that the One West Hebrew Israelite camps are going to be used to be the scapegoat and reason why the world comes against us when the New World Agenda begins. They will be a part of the race war that will bring the animosity from the rest of the world to be against us. This will begin when peace is taken from the earth and this race war starts. Now, the thing most people try to say in defense is that I don't know what I'm talking about because their groups specifically tell them right now to stay out of all these fights. This is what they're hearing right now. People are hearing clear guidance to stay out of these things right now, and because of this, they don't believe that what I'm saying is true. But what people don't recognize is that they are being told to not engage right now because now's not the time. They have you men and women under control, and they are not ready to unleash you. They're not allowed to unleash you yet. But you clearly see that they have the power to, because what if they just said, okay, now is the time to engage? With the anger that many of these men have, they will be more than ready. And when you really understand this, you can really understand why these Israelites are so stuck on the white man being Esau. I played this in part A, but it really highlights my point.
You done made me upset out here, trying to be politically correct. Be real about it. Be real about yourself. So you understand? Go ahead. Go ahead, read this. God hates you, and we're going to prove it out the Bible.
Right.
Go to Romans. Go ahead.
Romans 9 and 13.
Hold on.
He don't hate you because of the color of your skin. Even Martin Luther King said, judge him according to the content and character. We hate white people because God hates white people, and He's going to improve it. But we also hate white people because of the signs of what they've done to us. If you take it and look at the lynching, if you take it, they murdered us. They just murdered us a couple of days.
A potential colonizer, man. A potential slave master, man. Well, guess what, man? The only thing you're good for is climbing on top of that tallest building and nosedive, man. Read.
Micah chapter 3, verse 11. The heads thereof judge for reward, and the priests thereof teach for hire.
This is what our pastors have become in our communities, man.
Do you understand how wicked and evil you have to be able to say out of your mouth that God hates this person? You know nothing about them, but you're saying God hates them? You see, they believe that God hates white people, and because of this, they hold no regard for them. I mean, they literally said that it would be better for this man to just jump out a window or something like that. It's completely wicked. Now, maybe the God they serve talks like that to them, but it has nothing to do with Yahuwah. So sometimes I'm really happy they don't even use his name. What many of you don't recognize is that Masonic goals and end times Bible prophecy can often sound very similar until you reach the final goals. And if you don't fully understand what Yahweh has promised, you can very easily fall into the traps of the enemy's goals. And what many of you are being prepared for is the enemy's goals, but because it sounds biblical, you think it's tied to Yahweh, but it's not. Like talking about Babylon's fall. Yes, Babylon is going to fall. But guess what? It's also part of their Masonic agenda as well. They created this place to fall. They understand it's going to fall. There is a huge difference between those of us waiting on Yahuwah and those that are in the camps. You see, we're all waiting, obviously, for the fall of Babylon. To us, it's no mystery what's written and prophesied. And so all of us, we all communicate the same message. But in all of that, there is something that's not seen. And that is that the One West Israelite camps are more invested in the goal of Babylon's fall than we biblically are called to be. They are preparing to go to war with Babylon. And because of that doctrine of Esau being the white man, they're going to believe this is a righteous, holy war, and this will come about during the times of this coming race war that I just broke down in the video before this. Listen, the leaders of the One West Israelite camps have trapped their followers in doctrines of the white man being Esau and Babylon falling, and please understand that when the tribulation starts and peace is taken from the earth, these Israelites will be on the offensive and war with Babylon themselves. Understand, this is not speculation. This is real. It's right in front of us if your eyes are opened. Just look at the most militant groups like ISUPK and GMS. I'm going to show you.
Let's broker a deal.
Right here. Damn! Honey, let's go. Let's go.
24.
Where you at? What we doing? You at where?
91. He ain't done no. He gotta give me 120. Yeah.
You at 64?
Hell yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Let's get all these.
1, 2, 3, 4.
It was this. It's a phenomenal idea.
Well, this was inspired by the Lord.
Oh, okay. As all things.
As all things, sent the messages down to try these brothers' souls, you know what I mean? Make sure that they fit to serve under Commander General Elohim.
Oh, Most High Christ.
Look, as it says, why are these black men training? Now, please note, I'm not getting this from other groups. Other groups are not asking this question. I'm getting this directly from ISUPK. They are training. Why? Listen to their words.
To the right. To the right. Right. To the right. 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 Babylon is falling. To rise no more. Babylon is falling. To rise no more.
They are marching because Babylon is falling. Okay, and they're marching. Listen to their words.
No cowards in our camp, only men prepared to die. Who? We want no cowards in our camp, let their colors fly. Who? We want no cowards in our camp, only men prepared to die. Who?
They said, we want no cowards in our camps, only men prepared to die. Really? But what are they preparing for?
Oh yeah, let's go. Let's go. Give me 100. 100 push-ups. Let's go.
Clear that wall like he got rat in his blood.
Do as many as you can. Let's go.
What number you at? Where you at?
35. You got a good number. 13. You might have to just tap off. Just tap off.
16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Right there.
Got one. So go.
I want to come on. Go. Get it.
Let's go. Get over here. Drop.
Face this way.
There you go. Good. 100 push-ups. Let's go. Where you at? Good work. Where you at? I want to hear y'all count, all right? Where you at? Let's go.
They're saying we're preparing for war.
Jumping jack. Attack. Strike the miss. Open your eyes, brother. Open your eyes. Strike the miss. There you go. Strike the miss. There you go. Just like that.
There you go. Hand swap.
Order him. There you go. Copy. I'll turn you this way. All right. Close. Right out. Keep looking out. Yeah, the way you did it the first time, it's going to feel right out. Look up. Yes, I can hit your eyes. Hit that left side, brother. Yeah. Let it run just like that. Try to break it a couple times. I think we want to use your hand. Wash your hands off the water.
Oh, shit.
Well, look, they're not hiding. They are preparing for war. This is happening right now. The men under GMS, the Great Millstone, believe that they are about to be given superpowers, similar to like the X-Men and other superheroes. They call themselves the elect. These camps are all out here preparing for war. I mean, you see IUIC out here marching all over the country. What do you think they are marching like an army for? What do you think is actually happening, and what are they actually preparing for? It vexes me honestly to see my brothers and sisters out here following these groups that are leading them astray. Having them train for battle like this has anything to do with Yahuwah. And as I have tried my best to make this content to explain this as deep as possible, there are others that have looked at me as the enemy while they have these organizations using our people to become the scapegoats that allow the devil to speak his falsehoods against us in a massive way. I need many of you to understand that I am a father, and I also care very deeply for these young men and women out here in this world that are fatherless and do not have real men to lead them. Out here, you are seeing these young men, many of them the ages of my oldest sons, and they are out here following these camps because they are being fed lies in regards to our Father and what Yahuwah has said. These young men who should be preparing themselves for the kingdom are preparing themselves for a war that has nothing to do with them if they really know who they were. They are being prepared for war. And the sad part for many of them is that many of them will die in this lie and will never understand what happened. Now, let me be clear and say that it's not wrong to train, and it's very good that men stay in shape. I weight train heavy, and I run a lot of miles a week. I am preparing for the second Exodus. It's my main part of my life. I believe it's important to be physically fit and be in shape. And also, you should know how to defend yourself. This is all part of being a man. I have no problem with this. Please understand that. But this is not what you're seeing here. They are saying themselves that they're preparing for war. This is their videos. They are showing themselves training and preparing for war. I'm not taking this from someone else and them saying it. These are the direct groups that are saying that they're preparing for war. I mean, in the times that we're in right now, with all these agendas forming, Israelites who say they are awakened to who they really are, but they're preparing for war, you are on a completely different agenda than what Yahuwah has prophesied for us to be on. It's completely different. If you watch my video about the race war, you should understand that there is Masonic doctrine of dualism that is all about the struggle between white versus black. And when you have these groups preparing for war and following doctrine that tells them that Esau is the white man, it only supports their view of warring against them, and they believe that it's biblically sound. Just look at how dangerous this teaching of the white man being Esau can be.
Isaiah 34:5. For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea and upon the people of my curse to judgment.
Now we understand what that curse is. Okay, it ain't just their looks. It's more than that. They're the only one who gets no mercy from God. And think about it. Every other nation is going to get some type of mercy, but not Edom. Not that one. Dang.
They literally can justify no mercy for the white man in this war and make it biblical. As they teach these things, they don't have to say the white man this or that. They say Esau. Esau gets no mercy. And when peace is being taken from the earth, what do you think is going to happen? People think what they're talking about is about Bible prophecy, but it has nothing to do with it. It's Masonic goals that are masqueraded by false teachers who act as if they're establishing Yah's kingdom, but secretly they are using young men and women who need guidance that are truly trusting them, and they are turning them into weapons ready to be used at an appointed time. Listen, what I'm going to do, I'm going to read you some quotes from this book. Look, it says, the old world must be removed to make way for the new world. There is a universal struggle being waged by the old world against the beginning of the new world. Will the old world's opposition prevent the establishment of the new world? According to recorded history, the effort being made by the old world against the beginning of a new world will fail, as did former opponents of, and I left that last part off because I didn't want it to be so obvious. The next part, blah, blah, must be taken and destroyed according to the prophets at the time and end of the wicked world, where the lost and found members of the ancient and aboriginal people are found. And the last part I'll read from this is, the originator and his people, the original black people, are supremely wise. Today we see the white race preparing for the sky battle to determine who shall remain and rule this earth, black or white. Okay, where do you think this all comes from? These are all quotes from Prince Hall Freemason Elijah Muhammad's book, Message to the Black Man, and the chapters Resurrection of Our People, and then what proceeds after it. The Nation of Islam has nothing to do with our truth, yet much of their same beliefs are shared with the One West Hebrew Israelite camps. I mean, you should really research the Nation of Islam and understand the parallels between their doctrines and the Hebrew Israelite camps. Why is this false religion so intertwined with the doctrines and beliefs of the Israelites? They say Esau is the white man. The Nation of Islam says the children of Jacob are the white man. And they both have doctrines about the fall of Babylon, and in order for them to have a new world, they have to have this battle. You would really only understand this if you studied it. Ask yourself, why is this false religion so intertwined with the doctrines and beliefs of the Israelites? I mean, they have the same doctrines about the white man versus the black man, just with a little bit of different doctrines that surround it. But the end result is the same thing. You see, the point I'm communicating is that the One West Hebrew Israelite camps are preparing for war with Babylon when the second seal is lifted, and they will be moving outside of our Father's will to be a part of this race war. And they will use this doctrine of Esau, being the white man, to justify their coming actions. They're not moving according to our Father's will, they're moving according to their own will. And this is not any different than what our people have done before, specifically during the times of the first Exodus. Only difference is that they are only following doctrines from another source. But moving by their own will and moving from the power of Yahuwah is not a new thing for Yasharel. Let me bring your remembrance back to Deuteronomy chapter 1, when Yasharel was commanded to go into the land of Canaan. But because they did not truly worship Yah and recognize his power, they refused to go in, and he got vexed with them. I will not read it all for time's sake, but let's start in verse 34. It says, "And Yahuwah heard the sound of your words and was angry, and took an oath, saying, surely not one of these men of this evil generation shall see that good land of which I swore to give to your fathers, except Caleb the son of Jephunneh, he shall see it, and to him and his children I am giving the land on which he walked, because he wholly followed Yahuwah. Yahuwah was also angry with me for your sakes, saying, even you shall not go in there. Joshua the son of Nun, who stands before you, he shall go in there. Encourage him, for he shall cause Israel to inherit it. Moreover, your little ones and your children, who you say will be victims, who today have no knowledge of good and evil, they shall go in there. To them I will give it, and they shall possess it. But as for you, turn and take your journey into the wilderness by the way of the Red Sea." Then you answered and said to me, "We have sinned against Yahuwah. We will go up and fight, just as Yahuwah our Elohim commanded us." And when every one of you had girded on his weapons of war, you were ready to go up to the mountain. And Yahuwah said to me, "Tell them, do not go up nor fight, for I am not among you, lest you be defeated before your enemies." So I spoke to you, yet you would not listen, but rebelled against the command of Yahuwah and presumptuously went up into the mountain. And the Amorites who dwelt in the mountain came out against you and chased you as bees do, and drove you back from Seir to Hormah. Then you returned and wept before Yahuwah, but Yahuwah would not listen to your voice nor give ear to you. So you remained at Kadesh many days, according to the days that you spent there. That's Deuteronomy chapter 1, verses 34 through 46. This is what happened before, and this is exactly what is about to happen in these coming times. These Israelite camps are not following Yahuwah, and they're not waiting on him. They are training, making it about their own power. Look at them. They are marching, making it about their own strength. That has nothing to do with the ways of Yahuwah. He doesn't care about how strong they are and how prepared they are for war. These men will do nothing but cause problems, and they will be defeated. Why? Because Yahuwah is not amongst them. All of this, what's about to happen, is about Yahuwah showing his power. He scattered us, and he said it would be him that brings us back. It was never about our numbers or our power. And these men over here, they're preparing like any of that matters. Why would they be doing that? Because they don't understand him or know him at all. They are all sadly being used. And when they go out to fight, when this race war happens, Yahuwah will not be with them and they will be defeated. But only after they cause enough problems that makes the world hate us and gives Satan enough ammunition to make the whole world come against us. Do you know how much I have tried to distance myself from these groups? But no matter what, the world ties me to them regardless of what I say. It's because that's the agenda. Now, here's the best part though. It's not gonna work. None of this has any power over Yahweh's chosen remnant. None of it. So for us not attached to these doctrines, it really doesn't have anything to do with us if we do not allow it to. But you see, I did not make this series for those that are detached from the camps. I have made this video for those that are attached to the camps that may be conflicted. I am not making this video because I hate Hebrew Israelites. I am making this video because I love all of you, my brothers and sisters, and I'm telling you that you do not understand the agendas that are before you. And many of you are following the enemy and you do not see it. There are agendas at play that you are not aware of. And here's the thing. If I'm wrong about all this and I'm just being paranoid or whatever, all of you that want to expose me and talk about me all the time, all any of you have to do is prove it. If you are part of the Hebrew Israelite camps, just pledge that when violence breaks in Babylon, you will stay out of it. That you will not fight in any kind of war, regardless of what's provoked. You will not go out to take vengeance on who you claim is Esau. If what I am saying is false, then have your leaders speak openly and say that when war breaks out here, they will not fight in it. That they will not allow themselves to be used as scapegoats against Yah's true chosen people. It's very easy right now to just prove me to be wrong, and that pledge means everything. And guess what? If my discernment was wrong, and all that preparing for war, and all that doctrine about not having mercy on Esau is truly about Yah's timing, and you're waiting on him to provide this vengeance, then so be it. I will declare that I'm wrong, and I will never be more happier about being wrong about something. So ask your leaders. Ask them if they are preparing for war. Or ask them what happens when Babylon goes to war in this country, with a civil war or race war. Do they think that they should participate in it? If you hear the answer of no, then listen, hold them to it and remember it for yourself, so that if they rescind and later say, you know what, well, we didn't expect them to do this, or God says now is the time, or whatever other nonsense they might say, you will now have enough discernment not to follow them into that war. This series about the Hebrew Israelites was about showing you that though there is a group that have been speaking about our identities, their purpose has not been solely biblical, but there are Masonic foundations hidden that most are not aware of. And as these agendas unfold in this wicked land of Babylon, these Masons have goals to use the Israelites to become the new faces of terror. I want you to understand that the world will be uniting to worship one God, and these Israelites, along with the two witnesses, will be used to steer the masses against this. Now, the difference with the witnesses, that they are righteous, and they will only act against the people who come against them. But the Israelites will be used to control the narrative because this is what they were created for in the first place. They are already labeled as a hate group, and though they say they are not one, they use that label as a form of credibility for them. Listen, please understand, this is not a popularity contest for me. You can be against me all that you want for speaking against them, and listen, only time will tell if I'm wrong. But let me ask you, those who have been against my message and against me speaking against the Israelites, please tell me, if they go to war, will you follow them into it? I want to know. If you haven't even considered it, that means you have never understood where I was going with this series, and perhaps you should watch it again with fresh eyes instead of assuming that you really got a real understanding. I mean, I have brothers believing I hate my brothers and sisters in these camps when that couldn't be anything less than the truth. Do you know how difficult it is to make these messages? I am not doing this for fun. I have been bringing this out because this agenda is right in front of all of us, and most of you are not ready for it. Please, do not take my word for it. Do your own checks. Do a temperature check. Ask the leaders of these camps. Go on their pages and ask them in their comments. A lot of them, they hide their comments, and a lot of them, they don't even respond. Ask them, when civil war breaks out in Babylon, should we be a part of it? Ask them questions about how it is that we should be preparing for Yahweh. If many of you have families and you have young sons and daughters, please do not follow these men into battle. This is highly unwise. You do not have to listen to me, but I hope this has provoked something in you to ask questions. Maybe you've heard certain things and you weren't really sure. Be sure, because just like when COVID happened and things happened very fast, Things will happen fast here, and if you're not ready, you can be sucked right into it. They have a plan for everyone. So if you're a part of these camps, you don't have to just listen to me. I'm not asking for that. I'm just asking you to ask questions and make sure you understand what you're preparing for in regards to end times Bible prophecy. Because before Yahweh does anything else, war is going to happen. And if you are with these camps that are preparing for war, you might have a problem on your hand. But look, I'm done. I've broken it down now and I've explained my reasoning. I have no more reason to talk about this any longer. If I'm wrong, then none of these camps are preparing for war. And when war breaks out, I don't have to worry about seeing any of my brothers and sisters going and being killed because you thought you were fighting for Yahweh, but he really wasn't amongst you. If I am wrong, I promise I will shout it out and title the video, I Was Wrong. But don't you think it's at least time that we all get clarity from the camps about their views with it? I showed you straight up that they're preparing for war. They're not even hiding it. You see them marching around like armies.
What you see right now is God's army. And guess what? The Lord wants you to join this army. Join God's army. Because we are the 12 tribes of Israel.
You see that they are bearing Masonic stars, using Masonic doctrine of white versus black, even though they should know that we are not black and these people are not white. You see them ready for Babylon falling, but while we are waiting for Yah to give word about gathering us to him, they are preparing for war. Listen, for all of you guys that have been against me, now is the time to prove me wrong. Make it a movement. Make it a movement that Israelites are pledging to wait for Yahweh to move and carry out his vengeance and gather us. Yahweh does not need us for that. These people, they're claiming to be the Lord's army. And that's very telling, being that the Lord is Baal. When all this occurs, it will happen fast and it will be provoking. So I am making this content right now so that the seed has been planted in your minds so that when it happens, you can think twice and know what you're doing. With making this series, this has been some sort of race versus time with all these things happening. Most of you have been very angry about me bringing all this up, and I've asked many of you for just patience while I finish bringing it all out. I hope that now you can see that this was never about hating our brothers and sisters in the camps. I want these men and women to understand that they are being deceived to take part in agendas that have nothing to do with Yahweh. And if you follow this whole Israelite series from the beginning, starting from part 1 and play it all through from the history to dealing with the doctrines, you can understand that this was never about hate for the brothers and sisters in the camps. This was always about love that I have for each of them that have desired the truth and thought they found it, but were being led by wolves. There is a major agenda right in front of us that is waiting to come together. The world is waiting to come against us. It's prophesied. But the devil, he needs to give them the reason. Do not be part of that reason. The race war will provide enough ammo that scares the world from us as Yahweh actually gathers us out of the four corners of the earth. You have to understand there's no other reason for the world to come against us. The only thing that we should be doing is sitting and waiting on Yah. He is the one that brought us here. He did not say that we need to get ourselves out of here. He promised that he would gather us. So I am waiting and trusting on him to do it. Hear from the camps and see what they're waiting for. I'm calling them all out. And instead of you coming at me, get answers from them. You will notice they can only talk about what they're allowed to talk about. They'll come at other Masonic pastors because they know that these pastors are part of the other game along with them. It's all a game. You have to understand what's happening in this world. Ask these leaders of these camps in their comments, are they planning to go with war with Babylon? When you go to your Israelite schools and you go to their live streams or whatever they do, ask them in the comments what they're preparing for. Let's see if the conversation moves from them avoiding this to now justifying why there must be something. The Christian church is waiting for a false pre-tribulation rapture. They think that they're going to exit this whole place and have nothing to do with everything. They're sadly going to be mistaken when this tribulation starts. The followers of the Hebrew Israelite camps of One West are following doctrines that will lead them into a civil war when peace is taken from the earth. Two different doctrines, two different goals, all leading away from Yahweh. Ask your leaders what they are preparing you for. Ask your leaders what they are preparing you for. And if you are waiting for Yahuwah and you're waiting for him to gather us, there's nothing that you need to do except wait for him and endure. He did not tell you to train for war. He doesn't need you for that. Just please know, and let me make this clear. If you choose to follow them when this all happens, you will not be covered by Yahuwah. And that's why I'm making this very clear. Yahuwah does not need you to fight the war for him. He's prophesied about this thousands of years before it even happened. He does not need you. He scattered us here, and he prophesied that he will gather us. Please do not follow the agendas that seem biblical, but they are not. Now, we're not going to stop this. It's going to happen either way. But only thing that matters is how many of you are attached to it. But here's the deal. In the end of all this, no one can ever say that they were never warned about this. And that's why I'm here. You can never say that this was not spelled out for you. From the Masonic history of these camps, to the explanation of that satanic star, to the explanation surrounding their wicked doctrines, all of you under the influence really need to examine it very deeply. These are questions you need to ask yourself and have answers for. What are you preparing for? What are you expecting Yahuwah to do? Are you planning to go to war with Babylon? This has nothing to do with fear of Babylon, because I know it will fall. But Yahuwah said that these events are going to be about showing his power. It will be a bigger event than the first Exodus and all those plagues. He never needed Yasharel to lift a hand against the Egyptians. It was all about his power. Down to the event at Passover and the parting of the Red Sea. He did not need Yasharel to fight against the Egyptians. If you think that he needs you, you need to go back and know about him more. The events that are about to happen are about to be about him showing his power. It will be a bigger event than the first Exodus with all of those plagues. The seals, the trumpets, the bowls that are in Revelation are about him dealing with the world. He said he is going to hold certain nations ransom for us. He is not telling you to prepare to fight in some war. These are Masonic goals, and I'm begging you truly to focus on Yahuwah. My brothers and sisters who have been influenced by these camps, these times are not going to be about our strength. It's not about fighting black versus white. These times that are coming will be truly about your faith. Do you truly trust Yahuwah, and do you truly depend on him? Our ancestors didn't. Will you? Read the Torah. Go back to Numbers. Go back to Deuteronomy. Go back to Joshua. See how our people rebelled against Yah because they wouldn't trust him. What's coming now will be all about the question, do you trust him? Do you? So again, let me sum it up. Ask your leaders in those camps if they are preparing for war and why. Those of you, many of you who've had problems with this subject, I know many of you weren't planning for war. So instead of making videos about me, how about asking these camps and these men on these corners what they're preparing for? Get some answers. And if I'm wrong, then I will admit it. But if these people start justifying why they should fight in one, then you really have some decisions to make on the direction that you're heading. In the end, the choice will be yours. But please know, Yahuwah will not be amongst you when you fight, and you will only be used as tools for Esau, true Esau. The question is clear. What is the end times doctrine and view that these camps are leading you under? So many of you are distracted and you want to argue about the points that you were trained to argue. You want to argue about salvation for the Gentiles. You want to argue about who Esau is. You want to argue about how fake Christianity is. You want to argue about slavery and oppression. But this main point is something lost upon all of you following these camps. What do you believe is going to happen in the end times? What is it that you're waiting for? I mean, I've searched through many teachings and interviews from these camp leaders about what they're preparing their people for, and it's very vague. I only know about Babylon's fall, and I know many of you believe that UFOs are really about to bring us back and take us somewhere. Like, where do you find that in scripture? Others of you believe that you're going to get superpowers like the X-Men or in the Matrix or whatever it is. UFOs and superpowers. This is what a lot of you guys are hearing. At a time like this, your leaders are all arguing about who we are, proving Jesus is black. I mean, I know Nathaniel still refers to our Messiah by this Hellenized name. But with all these agendas forming right now, shouldn't there be a main emphasis in this world to make sure that all of Yasharel, not even just the ones in your camps, but the ones not awakened yet, shouldn't everyone be understanding what Yahuwah has prophesied for us that the Christian church has not taught? These camps are not teaching it, and I'm telling you to look deeper into why. They are not preparing you for the biblical promises, and there's a reason. There is a Masonic agenda that they have attached you to that you do not know. I mean, for example, I recently saw on an Instagram video from an Israelite attached to IUIC. He used AI to create this video. Look here.
This just in. Authorities have detained Israelite preachers across 5 states. These black Hebrew radicals are accused of distributing unlicensed scripture and the gospel.
Repeat, Tehran has launched nuclear strikes against Zionist settlements. We believe this is the beginning of World War III.
We are out of here!
Reporting live, tensions have reached a breaking point in the Valley of Jehoshaphat, and we've just received confirmation of a new. Our apologies for the interruption. We're experiencing unprecedented interference. Let's cut straight to the battlefield.
We are mobilizing to scatter the new threat. Move, move, move!
Command!
He has made landfall. Repeat, he has made landfall.
Go. Retrieve my sheep.
Focus on the threat at hand. Focus all your attention on the Christ.
Those Israelites were right the whole time.
There seems to be only one man left standing in the valley of Jehoshaphat, Jesus Christ, the Black Messiah.
Now look, I don't like this video for many different reasons, but the biggest point is the overall premise of the video. I mean, you can tell that these camps are not preparing for the second Exodus. It's not their main doctrine at all. They are being prepared to be called radical and to be locked up in prison. In reference to being gathered, they believe that they're going to be gathered in the final battle when Yahusha comes back. And apparently they believe that he's going to be using UFOs to do this. My point that I'm emphasizing is that the main biblical promise that all of us should be waiting for, these camps are not waiting for in the same way. So if they're expected to be gathered when Yahusha comes back, and they're expecting to be persecuted and to be put in jail, what they are not expecting is the second Exodus and for Yahusha to be dealing with us in safety in the wilderness. These camps are not being taught truly what our biblical promises are, and there is a reason. It's because they are not a part of the Dry Bones Awakening, but a part of a Masonic agenda. And for many of them, they will not understand this until it's too late. So what I'm saying is, get clarity on what your leaders are preparing you for. Do you see what's happening right now in the world? You better make sure you understand what your leaders believe and what they are preparing you to be a part of. Is he preparing you for war? That you're going to be fighting with the enemy? Or is he teaching you to be patient and wait for Yahuwah to gather us and let Yahuwah work because it's all about his will? What are they preparing you for? I get it that many of you want to disagree, but what are you waiting for? That's the question. For many of you watching that are not in the camps, but you have family and friends in the camps that you care for, forget about those other doctrines and fighting about those other doctrines that they want to focus on. Forget about all of that and make the focus be about what they are prepared for. What do they think it's about to happen? What have their leaders taught them about the second Exodus? Press them on this. This needs to be the focus. Every person that claims to be a teacher and leading Yasharel should be clearly explaining what they are preparing their flock for, because I promise you that this is where you can find out the agenda that you're attached to. And if you just stop arguing about the other points everyone else is focused on and just focus on this point right here, which is most important, especially in the times that we're in right now, if you just focus and everyone finds out exactly what the ministries that they are following believes about these last days, you can see exactly what they're preparing you for. Like these brothers marching and preparing for war. They're very clearly preparing themselves for something different than what I'm preparing for. They may teach about the second Exodus, but when they are saying this is going to happen is very different, because you can see that many of them believe this is going to happen when Yahusha comes back. Like if you just base it off that video I just showed you. But if you read Revelation 12, that does not line up with that, because when Satan is unsuccessful in coming at us, he comes after our offspring. If the second Exodus was when Messiah came back, then the devil wouldn't have time to persecute our offspring. And the thing is that you all don't even want to consider the offspring because you say salvation isn't for the Gentiles. What is my point? Again, my point is to get clarity on what it is that you're being prepared for. You can see that if IUIC and these other groups, they were teaching the truth about what we are being prepared for, the way that that video was being made would not have been made. And the whole timeline is off. Not to mention that they make Yahusha seem to be like he's Thanos or something. You have to understand that their depiction of Messiah comes from the depiction in their own heart. This is how they feel, and they're depicting it as that. Though our Messiah is coming in wrath, he doesn't need to be angry. He has all the power. But that's a different point. My point, though, is that based on the video that they have shown, their timeline of what they are expecting is shown to be very wrong, and there's a reason for that. I'm speaking about this because it's extremely important. If you're following falsehoods and leaders that are tied to other agendas, when this tribulation period starts, you will be led to where they were designed to lead you, and it will be away from our Father and into the arms of the enemy. And many of you will die because you follow people that Yahuwah did not send. You can argue right now about me, but in your own time, please get clarity on what it is your leader is preparing you for. Do not be led into an agenda that is about rebellion that leads to death. In the end, all those other fights about doctrine, we can let Yahuwah decide who is right or wrong on all that. I mean, think about it. You can see that if some of these doctrines you have learned comes from these camps, and they are also being let to be used as scapegoats against the true dry bones, then I think that it should tell you everything may need a second look. But either way, all those other doctrines you all want to fight about, whether salvation is for the Gentiles and who Esau is, none of that really matters right now. Not for you, at least. In the end, if more of you survive the beginning of this tribulation and are part of the second Exodus, then we can truly find out who was right or wrong. So I would like to get past this and unite. So for uniting as Israelites, can we agree that we put all these doctrinal differences aside and just wait for Yahuwah to gather us? Let's focus on our own redemption and focus on ourselves and making sure that we are ready and making sure that we are just proper examples and put all the fighting and the doctrines aside. I hope and pray that one thing that we could all be united on is that we do not need to fight a war Yahuwah has not commanded us to fight. So this is my basis, and I hope that everyone can meet me there. We can put the differences of doctrines aside and just wait for Babylon to fall and Yahuwah to gather us. We don't need to do anything but wait on the one who brought us here to gather us. I hope that we can all agree with that. The question is, can we? I'm telling you to come out of the camps and read the Bible on your own without their influence and understand truly the promises Yahuwah has made and understand truly what our faith in him must look like. We are fighting a spiritual war. It's not physical right now. If all of you stay focused, all of you will soon be utterly blessed. We are waiting for the second Exodus. Be ready to leave this place. Be ready for him to gather us to him. Do not follow anyone into any wars or chaos that's soon to come. Yahuwah will not be there to fight for you. He will not be with you. You have now been warned. What you do with it is up to you. Make the right decision and be ready. Be blessed. Hallelujah. Praise Yah. Okay, thanks again for watching. If this has blessed you, please don't forget to like this and share it with others. Please share this with your brothers and sisters in those camps. Have the discussion with them. If you have not done so already, please don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Yah willing, I upload every Friday. Also, please don't forget to follow this ministry on Facebook and Instagram, as well as on my website, truthunedited.com. As always, I really would like to thank all those who support this ministry. Your contributions have been an extreme blessing to this channel, and I'm very thankful for you. I thank you for your support. Be blessed. Okay, thanks again for watching, everyone. I love you all.